What's going on, guys? I'm Zach from the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we'll be talking about what regional variants we could see in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We've previously done a bunch of videos on what Pokemon we think we could see. We've talked about staples in the game like regional birds, the regional fossil. We've talked about just miscellaneous Pokemon we could see, and in this video we'll be diving into the regional variants. If you want to check out those previous videos, you can hit the description. There'll be links to each of those videos, or just go on the channel, scroll through, and there's even a playlist for these. It'll be Pokemon predictions for Scarlet and Violet, something along those lines. So that's where you can check all those videos out. Now, let's dive into the video. So for the first Pokemon, we're going to talk about what's kind of been a staple. We didn't see it in Hisui, but it is something that they usually do. In Hisui was just, Legends Arceus was just such a different game that I hardly think that you can even qualify it towards this. But that is a regional rodent from a previous generation getting a regional form. We had Alolan Rattata and Raticate in Alola, and then we had Galarian Zigzagoon, Linoon, and their new evolution, Obstagoon, in Galar, and I think that maybe there's a chance that we could see something here. I think that the best candidate for this would be Furret and Sentret. I think that they could be based off of the European mink, which is this adorable little guy right here. They could be normal ice, because there, of course, are many minks in the Pyrenees part, the more mountainous part of Spain. Or it could be normal fire, just because of this red fur color. I could see it getting the fire type. I definitely want to avoid the normal dark type, because we've seen that twice now. It's time for the regional rodent to get something else. In terms of abilities, I could see the traditional runaway, but I could also see it getting fluffy, because it's a fluffy little guy. Now for the next Pokemon, we kind of have already talked about this a little bit. This is a bull Pokemon. I think that we could see maybe a Tauros variant. I did talk about in a previous video that we could just see a brand new bull Pokemon, just like they've done repeats of crabs, repeats of sea urchins. So it could be something like that, but I could also see it being a Tauros variant. I could see this Tauros variant being a fighting type, and I could see it keeping Angry Point, I could see it keeping Intimidate, but I could see it getting this new ability that I came up with called Seeing Red. And what this new ability would do is when a Pokemon sees a red Pokemon, and if you didn't know, Pokemon actually have their colors coded into the game, so like Charizard is coded as a red Pokemon. But when this Pokemon would see a red Pokemon on the field, it could only attack that Pokemon, but its attack would receive a very significant boost. Maybe an accuracy drop, I'm not sure, but I think it would be a nice little nod to bulls and matadors and that whole relationship. But I could see this Pokemon being its own thing, as I had talked about in a previous video, but I don't think that we can rule out that this could be a Tauros variant as well. Typically in a Pokemon game, we get a variant that is kind of very much for marketing plushies. Like, it's a really cute variant that everybody immediately is like, oh my gosh, that's so adorable, I want it. We had Alolan Vulpix, we had Galarian Ponyta, we had Hisuian Growlithe or Hisuian Zorua. I guess you could kind of make an argument for either one of those there. And I think that in this one, and this is a bit out there, but bear with me here, I think that we could see Mudbray. See, there's an old Portuguese fairy tale called The Enchanted Mule, and it's about an enchanted mule. And so I really think that we could see Mudbray in this game be more cutesy, be a fairy type, and maybe it would even have a brand new evolution to it, because Mudsdale is based off of a Clydesdale. It could have an evolution that stays a mule or a donkey, and we could see it get stamina as its ability, which is what Mudbray and Mudsdale already have, or I could also see it picking up competitive. Back when Legends Arceus was coming out and they were revealing some of the new forms, people started predicting that there would be a Mandabuzz variant in Legends Arceus. The reason they thought that is because Braviary was getting a variant in this game, and so people were kind of hoping that Mandabuzz would get it, as in every game these Pokemon have been in, they've been version exclusives. So people felt it was a little unfair for Braviary to get something but not Mandabuzz. While Mandabuzz did not get something in Legends Arceus, I could certainly see it getting something here to make up for that. There are tons of different vultures or buzzards in the Iberian Peninsula. You've got the golden buzzard, you have the bearded vulture, and just all kinds of others. So I think that we could see one of these, and I think that a ground flying type would be great for it, and you can see it in that desert area that was pictured in the trailer with the stone journer. I could see that being its habitat. I think ground flying would be a really unique typing for it. It's only held by Landorus and Gliscor, so it's a really good typing, and it's a really scarce typing, I guess. And for abilities, I could see it getting Big Pecs, which is what current Mandabuzz can have, but I could also see it getting Sand Rush or Sand Force. One of the beautiful things about these variants is I think it can take a Pokemon and just really make it shine more. And one Pokemon that I think could really use that is Quagsire. Quagsire is, of course, a salamander-like Pokemon that's water ground, and I think it kind of gets overshadowed a little bit by Swampert, because Swampert's another salamander-like Pokemon that is water ground, and it's definitely a bit better than Quagsire, both design and, if I'm not mistaken, even competitively wise. And so I think something that could really help Quagsire is for it to get a regional variant. And what better variant to do than Fire Water? This Pokemon could be based off of the Fire Salamander, which doesn't actually have anything to do with fire, but it's got the colors of it, and so maybe they could do that with Quagsire and make it a literal fire-type salamander. And I could see adaptability being one of this Pokemon's abilities, or I could also see it getting Water Absorb. Either way, I think that Fire Water is such a cool typing. We've only seen it in Volcanium, which of course being a mythical means it's very rare and hard to get. But this would allow one that you can actually use in the competitive scene, as VGC doesn't allow for mythicals. Another really cool thing that they typically do with regional variants is they tend to have one where you find out that it is the true variant. So back in Alola, we had the Alolan Exeggutor, and they revealed that Alolan Exeggutor is actually the true Exeggutor. It's Cantonian Exeggutor that is the variant, I guess. And then we learned the same thing about Zigzagoon and Galar. Galarian Zigzagoon is the true Zigzagoon. I think that one that'd be really cool here is a Pokemon that's already been hinted to get a variant one day, and that is Corphish and Crawdaunt. Corphish and Crawdaunt are said to have been imported into Hoenn, and they adapted to it. There's a lot of speculation about how Crawdaunt actually picked up the Water Dart type and its coloring to mimic Sharpedo and scare off other predators or other competition, as well as just being a more menacing Pokemon. I think that a really nice contrast to that could be this true Corphish and true Crawdaunt would be a Water Fairy type that is based off either the Norway lobster or the European lobster. You see these Pokemon are much more vibrant in color and can even be kind of a pinkish color. So I think it would be really nice to put that on Corphish and Crawdaunt and make that the true Corphish and Crawdaunt. And I just think it would be so neat to see that the true one is a total opposite from the Corphish and Crawdaunt we've known. In terms of abilities, I could see Hyper Cutter, and I could also see it getting Sheer Force. I think that would be a really cool ability for it, and would definitely allow it to make really good use of moves like Liquidation and Play Rough. Next up, we have one of my favorite Pokemon, and one of the most underrated Pokemon in my opinion, and that is Torkoal. I could see a Torkoal in this game being based off of the Greek tortoise, which is found in Spain and the Iberian Peninsula, and I could see it getting the Psychic type, mainly because I was thinking like Greek philosophy. I could also see the patterns on here, on its shell, getting a little trippy, I guess, and making it look like a Psychic type. I think that would be really neat for Torkoal to pick up an extra typing, still kind of keep its stats like a lot of regional variants do, but just get a new typing, get a new move pool, and all this. In terms of abilities, I think it absolutely has to keep Drought. Drought has helped Torkoal so much, and I wouldn't want to take it away from it. Now, before we go into the last three, I want to preface this by saying that we have actually gotten a regional variant of Gen 1 Pokemon, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 5, Gen 6, Gen 7. But we skipped over Gen 4. And I think that they really need to make up for that. It made sense not to do a Gen 4 variant in Hisui, but we need a Gen 4 variant now. These are great designs, and it'll be so cool to do more with them. So these next three Pokemon are indeed Gen 4 Pokemon getting variants. And the first up on this list is an Ice Electric Luxray based on the Iberian Lynx. I think that this would be great for it. Luxray, it's already a Lynx, so I think it would be cool to give it a little bit more, give it the ice typing. Ice Electric's a pretty rare typing. Rotom Freeze is the only other Pokemon to have that typing, and I just think it will be so neat to see it get that. In terms of abilities, I could see it keeping Intimidate. I could also see it getting Slush Rush, though, and making Luxray a bit more competitive with that. Another Sinnoh Pokemon that could use a lot of love is Kricketune. I could see a regional variant of Kricketune being based off of the Mole Cricket. I could see it getting the ground typing, so it will become Bug Ground. And while I could see it having Swarm as an ability, I think a much cooler ability for it to have would be Mold Breaker. And last but not least, I was surprised to see that the Iberian Peninsula actually has Arctic hares. So I think it would be perfect to do a rabbit Pokemon getting a variant, and what better rabbit Pokemon than Baneri and Lopunny. I could see this Pokemon getting the Ice type. I could see it being Ice or even Ice Fighting, just to kind of pay homage to how Mega Lopunny is a part Fighting type. I could see it getting many different abilities. It could keep the ones it has, but what I would like to see is it get a brand new ability that I came up with called Strong Legs. Strong Legs would be similar to Iron Fist or Strong Jaw, but it would be working for kicking moves. So moves like Triple Axle or High Jump Kick, Blaze Kick, those kinds of moves. Maybe it could even get a new signature move to go alongside that. Well, there you have it, guys. That's 10 Pokemon that I could see getting a regional variant in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Again, be sure to check out our previous videos where we covered just miscellaneous Pokemon that could be in the game, as well as staples that are typically in every game. Those are on brand new Pokemon, not variants. We are going to be doing a lot more with Scarlet and Violet. We have some more Pokemon predictions coming up, and then we'll be doing deep dives into other stuff in Scarlet and Violet. I'm shooting for a Scarlet and Violet video every week at least, and some weeks even have multiple of that. So be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of those videos. Until next time, I will see all of you later.